Our keynote speaker, raised in the Triangle, was working at the World Trade Center on 9/11. Gives me chills just to read this. He escaped from the 81st floor of the first tower. In the process, he and his boss aided in the rescue of a woman confined to a wheelchair from floor 68. Since that life-changing experience, he has applied what he learned from that day to his role as Regional Vice President of Sales with Aslan Training and Development, a sales training and management coaching firm. He now lives here in Raleigh with his wife of 10 years and their 7-year-old daughter. Had a chance to speak with John just a moment ago. He is an energetic young man, and a young man who understands every breath we take is precious. So please join me in welcoming John Cerqueira. John.
Sir. John Milton, the author of the epic poem Paradise Lost, is quoted as saying, "Gratitude bestows reverence, allowing us to encounter everyday epiphanies, those transcendent moments of awe that change forever how we experience life and the world." I'm sure many of our heroes here today can identify key epiphanies that set them on the path to where they are and who they are today. And for many of you, I'm sure gratitude is at its core. When I speak with first responders about their vocational inspiration, I consistently hear themes of, I was thankful for a first responder who was there to help me in the past. I was thankful for someone like our mayor who helped a family member. Or for many of us, it was simply the gratitude of knowing that there was a support mechanism around us that made us feel safe and secure. For me, my story of gratitude is absolutely at the core of what's made me who I am today. It's a story that starts shortly after graduating college. And really, before I could firmly get my feet planted in what the real world was, our collective national and global frame of reference for what reality itself was changed forever. I attended NC State and graduated in 2001 in this very building. And for as long as I can remember, I had always wanted to live and work in New York. And so I counted myself supremely lucky a few months after graduation to find myself living in Manhattan and working on the 81st floor of Tower 1 of the World Trade Center. On September 11th, 2001, that's when I shifted from knowing luck to knowing gratitude. At 8:46 in the morning, an airliner hijacked by terrorists slammed into our building, roughly 10 floors above where I sat. The impact was like a bomb. The building initially shook and then began to sway slowly. Floors bowed, ceiling tiles collapsed, and the hallways filled with smoke and flames. After a few moments of pure confusion, a floor fire marshal guided us to an open stairwell, kicking off a nearly hour-long journey down. On the way down from the 81st floor, I ran into my boss, Mike, and on the 68th floor, we heard people outside the stairwell and happened upon an office full of people. Among them was a woman named Tina. She was a wheelchair user, and we offered her our help. The three of us led ourselves back to the stairwell. On the way down in the stairwell, the mood was oddly calm, particularly knowing what we all know today. Cell phone coverage was widely interrupted, and aside from some rumors of a private plane that may have collided with the building accidentally, no one in the stairwell really knew what was going on. Almost no one. The pace from the 68th floor to maybe the mid-40s was pretty easy and smooth. But on the 40th floor, that's when the pace slowed down, as we had to move to the side and allow first responders, members of the New York City Fire Department, to come up the building. We saw young faces, stoic and brave, providing direction without giving any details that would cause unnecessary panic. In fact, besides the look in their eyes indicating that something more severe than any of us thought was going on, they were the picture of divine calm and professionalism. You see, by this point, they knew nearly everything. They knew that this was an intentional act of terror, and they knew what would likely happen. They saw Tower 2 attacked, and by this point, they had seen it collapse. They knew what would happen to them and that there was little chance of their escaping after they reached a certain level, and they kept going. As for Tina, Mike, and me, the three of us continued down the stairs until we reached a lobby that was nearly unrecognizable from the blast. And we escaped out of a broken set of windows where EMTs helped us put Tina into an ambulance and sped away. Roughly 5 minutes later, our building collapsed, sending Mike and me fleeing up the West Side Highway, taking cover behind a van as an avalanche of debris enveloped us. After what seemed like hours, but was really maybe a minute, we emerged from the dust and finally reached the border of what was now being dubbed Ground Zero, where paramedics gave us first aid and police provided direction and comfort in a time for which no official protocol could ever truly prepare them. Reporters began shouting questions, and shortly our story got media attention, leading to features in USA Today, People Magazine, Good Morning America, and Oprah Winfrey. And the media were fabulous. But the story, or the label attached to our story, consistently was falling into the term of hero. And that created a great deal of discomfort. Discomfort because it's really a misnomer. You see, when I think of the word hero, I think of the people represented here in this room. Well, my story, because of the national recognition, international recognition of the events connected to it, might be remarkable. My part in it was really based on an in-the-moment decision without really an awareness of the full gravity of the risk I was taking. You, my beloved first responders, make a decision every day to put yourselves in harm's way. And like the firefighters I encountered on the 40th floor, knowing the dangers that may face you, you go on anyway. I'm not sure I can adequately express my gratitude for the men and women who helped my fellow New Yorkers that day, and for you who serve me, my family, and our community here in Raleigh today. I'm also immensely grateful for a lesson I learned from that day that's colored who I am. It's shaped my worldview. You see, while I understand that from the outside, it seems that Mike and I provided Tina an act of selflessness. The reality is, she helped us just as much, if not more. My ability to focus on the well-being of someone else kept me calm and gave me strength that I attribute in large part to my escape. It's the most powerful example I have highlighting this universal truth, a truth so meaningful that it fuels my personal life and my professional life in sales coaching, management development. It's this truth. We are most fulfilled when we serve others. We are at our best when we suppress our self-centered motives and commit ourselves to the service of another. If you believe in any version of God and that God is love, acting out love for each other through service brings us in line with our divine purpose. But I think you, the firefighters, or emergency medical personnel, and law enforcement already know that. You know what it means and what you get out of giving yourself in service to your community, particularly as we all prepare for the beginning of hurricane season. But what you may not know, what you may not always feel, is how the people you serve feel about you. So let me speak on behalf of all of us. It is you for whom I am grateful. It is you who inspire me with awe. And it is you I hold dear to my heart and love. Thank you.
John, thank you. Thank you for speaking from your heart and speaking for all of us in our appreciation for all of you who do what you do.